wow. The gun I'm pointing at is pointing at things I don't want to be pointing a gun at.
Sim
I was
rounds.
about to say, I was like,
Smart man.
You pushed out, my dude.
Smart man. He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. He immediately turned his face.
Almost regretted that.
He did not want to take it to the face. You will get that call. It will come for you, and you don't get to pick it. Are you prepared for that? To what level are you prepared? Are your backup officers prepared for that? What is going on YouTube? It is Josh and Phil again. We are here with Officers React, and we have a part 2, depending on what order you watch this, with Breaking Barriers. I believe that's what the show is called. They have a segment they call Switch, to where they trade places, and they did a few where it's police and civilian switching places. First one was pretty awesome, so I'd be curious to see what they do in the second scenario. So come watch with us.
Could you read that before it?
Nope.
I thought maybe with your dyslexia it would
I
be
could
perfect.
unscramble it, right?
So, the reality of police work, you go one call, and if you're lucky enough to come back to another call, you got to handle different calls. You can't just leave and say call the day over.
Why is he wearing like a poofy jacket?
What we're going to do right now is somebody, we're in a little neighborhood right now.
Oh, he's the...
And somebody said there's
he's
a random guy in the middle of,
he's the suspect.
of this little area over here. He's machete in his hand, he's talking to himself. So
he's wearing that poofy jacket so he doesn't get shot with those sim rounds.
I was about to say, I was like,
smart man.
You pushed out, my dude.
Smart man. He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
He's probably burning up in that thing, but he's like, you know what? Sim rounds ain't going to touch me.
If I was the host of this show, I'd get a thicker jacket.
Yeah.
He's probably got one under that.
He's wearing something underneath.
Yeah, sim rounds suck. Hey,
but he knows he's going to get shot at because of this scenario.
Yeah. Have I answered?
Because what would a normal civilian do with a machete-wielding crazy person in the street?
Sure.
If they thought they had the authority.
Yeah. How many times have you answered person with a weapon in the street that was crazy?
I would tell you once a week on Southside.
I believe that. I buy that.
So.
Also, if you work midnights, all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
Usually at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yep. When
they've either like woken up from their psychosis or they've taken the right drugs to induce that psychosis.
It's a fun time.
You guys that handle it as you guys see fit, all right? You guys
are
two-man unit. Team together.
Lucky them.
And so just consider all your use of force options. You got your gun, tasers, somebody has a baton, consider all that stuff, all right? You got the radio. He's
like, where's my handpiece? If he watched Only Cops, he'd be like, where's my handpiece?
Ready to do this? All right, fellas. Nope, no game planning.
That's not true.
It's fair.
You arrive on scene.
It is true. Sometimes the call comes to you. That's true.
Dispatch called in and said there was someone with the machine.
Yeah, imagine if you. Well, I guess he did say it was dispatch call. Yeah. So you would have.
And I could walk over here. Yeah. Okay. Go on the right side. All right, 2 in, 2 out. Yes, sir. 2 in. All right. Have eyes over here in the suspect.
Let's keep distance. Yeah.
How's it going, sir?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, brother?
Hey, what are you guys doing?
Hey, sir. Hey,
no.
This is no crossfire. This is hella
stop moving on me, officer.
Sir.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, put your gun away, man. He got mental health, man. Hey, I know him. He all right?
Sir, I need you to put the machete down.
That's realistic.
Sir, I need you to put the machete down. Sir,
pause it real quick.
I need you to back up.
That's some realistic shit.
A, super realistic. B, that guy gets extra man points for not putting on protective
I was
equipment.
just thinking that.
What
like,
an animal.
Wow,
dude.
he is not at all worried about catching around.
That guy's an animal. He gets mad respect from me.
Love it.
I would say this is 50 to 60% of crisis intervention calls that you will have what I like to call hecklers.
Hecklers,
We'll call them hecklers.
Yeah.
It's totally a thing.
I just call them assholes. But.
And producer Juan will appreciate the B cam that they provide.
Steady, I love it.
Shout out to iPhones everywhere. We'll keep going.
You're going to be a heckler, do exactly what this guy did. Keep it steady. Keep everything in the shot.
Remember,
so we can watch it later for content.
We can crop. We can't gain field of view. So we can always zoom in.
Sir, I need you to...
Hey, we know him, man. Leave him alone. He good people.
You're right, man.
Yeah, let's not be that close, yeah.
Officer, look at that.
No, we're We need backup.
Hey, is this not a lethal force situation?
Go, we got him.
You're right, bud. Shot fired! Shot fired!
He almost took a round.
Yep.
That's what we get for being a bystander.
Yep.
Fellas, how do you guys feel?
That was different. I mean, you had the community getting involved. That was very stressful. Very stressful.
That's like
Okay.
Yep, that's live.
Everyday call
Did you guys
now.
notice anything about me? Was there anything interesting about me?
You had the machete.
Okay, what was I saying?
You were talking to it like it was a person.
Is there something a little off about that?
Something very off about that.
What would you say is off?
I don't think so. Josh talks to his guns like they're children.
My stuff all the time.
Well, let's just say in this scenario, though. Let's just say in this scenario that I did have a mental disorder. Let's say I had schizophrenia.
What was that draw?
And those guys that came out that filmed me, they all live in the neighborhood and they know I have a mental disorder. Does that change anything?
I don't think it changes
My guy.
anything because there is immediate.
My guy.
So, you have a knife or a machete, you still can cause some type of harm.
Right. So I actually was able to get to him before, and I don't think you actually shot me. So I got to you, your partner. Did you guys notice where you guys were at and adjacent to each other?
I don't think we did. The intent was,
fucking radio.
So the thing is, we didn't know where you were at, so that's what threw us off. So then we saw ourselves getting separated.
That backstop and the crossfire.
Not great.
Right off the bat, and I mentioned it, I was like, cool, he's in crossfire now. Awesome. Is because this person's already posing a deadly threat. I was annoyed that they didn't have guns out to begin with. I just wanted to see how they were going to try to play this thing out.
Also, smart on him to put him in that space where they
they were going to
came in around like...
They forced that situation, which is great. It makes for a good training scenario.
Very smart.
But they created each other as backstops, which makes you hesitate when shooting. Also, if you already have your gun out, it's a lot easier to shoot accurately.
It's true.
And you'll realize, wow, the gun I'm pointing at is pointing at things I don't want to be pointing a gun at. So you'll move when you're doing that. So it's also a good idea. They were equipped with tasers, which would have been a good idea to try at those distances. Those were really the perfect distances to do it from. His poofy jacket would have prevented any level of success.
They don't know that.
They don't know that, but I think had they tried it, my assumption is he would have been like, yeah, that's not going to work. Like, look at my jacket. It's not going to work.
He'd go, swoop.
Yep, really, really quickly. The other thing is controlling where other people are.
That dude was way too close.
Yeah, to be honest, at that point, you're probably taking one of those officers to move everybody else out of the way, and you're perfectly allowed to do that. That's your investigation. You're allowed to control the movement of everybody around in and around your investigation, and arrest them with interference, and use force on them if need be, and then have one officer try to handle the situation. You can call for backup. It's not going to get there in time. But managing distance is a huge deal, and he didn't, and he paid for it.
We didn't know where you were at, so that's what threw us off. So then we saw ourselves getting separated.
So is that a danger now?
Yeah, it is. So are you saying we should have followed each other?
Well, you guys have to figure that out on the fly. Right. Because I changed it. I start moving on you. That's right. And the moment I start moving on you, I'm a deadly threat towards him. Right. So you start shooting. But yet you now jeopardize him.
He almost regretted that.
He did not want to take it to the face.
Individuals on the cell phone.
Everybody in the neighborhood.
Wow.
So let me ask you guys, what would be the right way to handle this situation, if there is one?
Blow dart.
Honestly, I don't know.
What I would say, maybe just staying closer together, throughout the entire time. And then from there, try to do our absolute best to maybe even calm down but I mean, it's so hard because we have them on the cell phone, but then we have you with the
There's
machete.
an immediate threat right there.
Right.
How much did they hurt the situation or help the situation?
They hurt the situation.
How did they hurt?
Because they're distracting you by talking to you. They're elevating their voices. They're asking, what are you doing? This is not right. Why do you have a gun?
So you notice their apprehension to pull their guns
de-escalate
out?
that, but still keep your
way
focus
too
on
late.
the target.
Gotcha. So the news comes on the next morning. Let's say you guys kill me. But the headline is going to read, officers kill schizophrenic man who is suffering from a mental health crisis.
Had that call?
How does that make you guys feel now?
We feel bad, but nobody knows the full story.
What?
How does that make your wife
Crazy.
and your kids feel when they see their dad's face blasted on the news saying that their dad just killed somebody that was mentally ill?
That's unfair.
But nobody knew what you guys went through though, right? Hey, excellent job, guys. I want to give you guys a round of applause for that, man.
Obviously, this is given from a pretty pro-police perspective, which I'm not going to argue with. I understand and live this. However, I will say that the lack of training that they had is probably on par for most police officers. They are not given that scenario in academy. They're not given any reps on that scenario. and they don't have a lot of good tools. So
Yeah.
there was no bowler wrap, right? There's no pepper ball gun.
I mean,
no
they had a
feedback.
taser, but
Sure, and that's a poor tool oftentimes in this.
outside of
situation.
that, I mean, yeah, but a taser with a bladed weapon, I mean,
Good luck. Yeah, you're still not.
You're
if I-
asking for a
so
lot
let's
of
say,
issues.
Let's say it's successful, right? You still have to take the machete out of
Mm-hmm.
this guy's hand, you know, and that's
within 5 seconds.
yeah.
Like,
So
even if the taser had worked, he could have said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm up again.
and he's
Like,
back to
yeah.
going full on Friday the 13th on these guys. It's a hard. The job sucks. Yes.
That's if he doesn't fall on his machine.
Bruno
sure
Zero
did.
brings up a good point.
Sure
That's
did watch
true.
that. That knife went straight up that dude's chin.
Yeah, that's the short straw. That's just the short straw you got. I had mentally disabled 18-year-old man that pulled a knife on me and one of my other officers that we were lucky enough to A, know that he had some level of mental disorder. B, I knew that it was likely a butter knife, which a 6'5" man can still definitely hurt me with, right? And we were lucky enough to pull Mom out of the apartment,
That's
lock
gonna
him
really
in
hurt.
there. We made an arrest plan, and it was just me and two other officers. We're just like, this might be really painful, but at least it's 3-on-1 because we didn't want to go and shoot this poor kid, right?
Yeah.
And we made an arrest plan knowing, okay, the fight's going to be on. If I go in there and this kid still has a butter knife in his hand, he's probably getting punched in the face, probably getting tased, probably the whole 9. And guess what the news would have read? 3 cops break into a house and beat an intellectually disabled kid. Like, that would have been the scenario. We were lucky that he ended up complying at the end of the day, but, like, you will get that call. It will come for you, and you don't get to pick it. Are you prepared for that? To what level are you prepared? Are your backup officers prepared for that? How compliant are the people around? We were lucky this took place in an apartment. This would have taken place out in the street, in Walmart, you know, in the middle of a Saturday, in the city we worked in.
Or a Sunday, game day.
So it's just, I don't know. I think it's a fair. It's weirdly enough, it's a fair scenario to present because it happens all the time. How many times do we have these borderline suicide by cop calls? That's like half of our body cam breakdowns that we do on Thursday. Shout out if you want to go see them. But yeah, I mean that's the nature of the beast. It's a hard job. I think you have to be a little reckless and a little bit selfless to do that type of job. But at the same time, I think a lot of people, specifically officers, are really not up to that task. You see it in Hollywood. You see it in these clips that we break. That they write it into the story. It's so common that they're not all like Rambo or whatever. But you have to be prepared for that eventuality. And then if you're a administrator, you have to understand that you're asking these officers to be ready for that scenario. What equipment do you think they might have? How should this affect the way that I create general orders? How should I framework their training and their expectation for doing that? Should I be trying to give my officers mental health benefits to make sure that they're in a good presence of mind and getting proper sleep and getting proper nutrition and are getting opportunities to work on their fitness? Or do I just want to put them in a meat grinder and hope they don't fuck it up? I don't know. Ask your local representative. I want to thank them for putting this scenario on. It'd be kind of cool. I'd like to do some of these scenarios.
Yes,
That's sorted out.
I'd like to be the bad guy.
If you guys are interested in doing that type of stuff and want to support this, you can go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this with other people that you might think this is either educational or entertaining. You can also, if you really want to get involved in the channel, join our Patreon. It's as low as $1 a month. That gives you access to our Discord where we interact. You get to troll us 24/7. You get access to
You can
producer
try.
Ron, Bill, and myself. Yeah, you can try.
We troll back.
Yeah, we do troll back. But that also kind of gives us updates and insights onto our lives. We go live every Tuesday and every Thursday at 7:30 Central Standard Time, practically every week. I think we maybe missed 1 week, and that was like Christmas.
Maybe.
So, anyways, you can go check it out there. We do body cam breakdowns and play video games and stuff periodically with our audience. So it's pretty cool. So if you guys are interested in that, go check it out. And until next time, thank you for riding Toon Man with us. Peace.